Hello everybody, and tonight we're diving into a Jennifer Lopez story that became surprisingly explosive inside Hollywood circles, because what initially looked like a routine awards season conversation slowly evolved into a much larger debate about respect, industry bias, and whether certain celebrities are permanently trapped by the image they created during their commercial peak years. The moment at the center of all this was Jennifer Lopez's performance in the 2019 crime drama Hustlers, but the controversy surrounding it continued echoing through interviews, fan discussions, and entertainment media well into the following years, especially as people started re-evaluating her career after the mixed reactions to her newer projects in 2024. For many viewers, Hustlers represented the first time they seriously considered the possibility that Jennifer Lopez had spent decades being underestimated as an actress because her celebrity persona became too overwhelming for critics to see beyond. When Hustlers was released, the response from audiences and reviewers was unexpectedly strong. Lopez played Ramona, a charismatic and emotionally calculating strip club veteran navigating the financial chaos following the 2008 economic collapse. The film itself carried sharp commentary about power, survival, exploitation, and the desperation created by a collapsing financial system. But what shocked many critics was how controlled and confident Lopez's performance felt compared to the glamorous romantic comedy image that had followed her for years. Her scenes carried tension, emotional authority, and an almost predatory charisma that reminded audiences she originally trained as a dancer and performer long before becoming a global celebrity brand. Very quickly, awards season buzz began building around the possibility of Lopez receiving major recognition, including serious Academy Award discussion. At first, the momentum looked real. Entertainment magazines praised the performance heavily, critics groups included her in nominations, and social media discussions intensified around the idea that Jennifer Lopez might finally receive the type of elite acting validation that had largely escaped her throughout her career. But as awards season progressed, something strange happened. Lopez continued appearing at ceremonies, interviews, and industry events, yet the conversation gradually shifted from excitement to anxiety. Fans and analysts started noticing that despite widespread media attention, certain parts of the Hollywood establishment still seemed reluctant to fully embrace her as a legitimate dramatic actress. When the Academy Award nominations were finally announced and Lopez's name was absent, the backlash online became immediate and emotional. What made the reaction especially interesting was that people were not simply arguing about one performance anymore. The snub triggered a broader discussion about how Hollywood treats celebrities associated with glamour, commercial entertainment, and mainstream fame. Many commentators argued that Jennifer Lopez had spent so many years being viewed as a tabloid icon, pop star, and fashion celebrity that parts of the industry struggled to mentally separate her from that image, even when delivering serious acting work. Some critics openly suggested that if the exact same performance had come from a less globally famous actress with a more traditionally prestigious reputation, the awards conversation might have unfolded very differently. The debate became even more intense because Hustlers itself symbolized something larger within modern Hollywood. The film centered on women surviving inside systems controlled by wealth, image, and exploitation, while Jennifer Lopez's own career reflected many of those same themes in real life. She had spent decades navigating an industry that often reduced women to appearance and marketability, yet here she was delivering a performance about aging, power, performance, and survival within environments obsessed with beauty and status. Some viewers believed the emotional force of her performance came precisely from the fact that Lopez understood those pressures intimately after living inside celebrity culture for most of her adult life. At the same time, not everybody agreed with the backlash surrounding the Oscar omission. Certain critics argued that the internet exaggerated the situation because Jennifer Lopez's fame automatically amplified every industry disappointment into a larger public narrative. Others claimed that while her performance was strong, the emotional intensity surrounding her awards campaign reflected the audience's desire to see Lopez finally receive serious recognition more than the Academy intentionally rejecting her. But even those arguments revealed how emotionally loaded Jennifer Lopez's public image had become. People were no longer discussing her neutrally. They were projecting larger cultural frustrations about elitism, celebrity hierarchy, and artistic legitimacy onto her career. The conversation resurfaced again years later when Lopez entered another highly visible public phase connected to This Is Me. Now, her documentary work, and renewed media obsessions surrounding her marriage to Ben Affleck. Suddenly audiences started comparing the reactions. In Hustlers, many viewers believed Jennifer Lopez appeared grounded, emotionally sharp and dramatically compelling. In some of her newer projects, critics argued she leaned too heavily into celebrity mythology and highly curated emotional storytelling. This contrast sparked a fascinating theory online. Some fans suggested Lopez often performs best artistically when she steps away from playing Jennifer Lopez and disappears into emotionally messier, more grounded characters. That theory became especially popular in film discussions because it touched on one of the central contradictions of her career. Jennifer Lopez spent decades building one of the strongest celebrity brands in entertainment history, yet that same brand may have limited how seriously certain audiences could engage with her dramatic work. The more iconic her public image became, the harder it became for viewers to separate the performer from the persona. In many ways, Hustlers temporarily broke that barrier because Ramona felt dangerous, flawed, aging, ambitious, manipulative, and emotionally human in ways that surprised people who associated Lopez primarily with polished glamour. Another reason the Hustlers conversation remained culturally relevant is because it exposed how differently aging women are treated inside entertainment industries. Male actors frequently receive praise for continuing to evolve into darker, more complex roles later in life, while women often face invisible pressure to preserve beauty, likability, and familiarity. Lopez challenged those expectations by playing a character built around survival instincts, emotional calculation, and economic desperation. The performance carried confidence but also sadness, especially in scenes where Ramona's carefully maintained power slowly begins collapsing under reality. Many viewers believed Lopez brought emotional depth to those moments precisely because she understood what it means to survive public scrutiny while aging inside a brutally image-driven industry. Perhaps the most revealing part of this entire story is that Jennifer Lopez herself seemed genuinely affected by the awards season outcome. In later interviews and documentary moments, she admitted the experience was painful because it felt like years of work still were not enough to fully shift industry perception. And honestly, that may explain why discussions around her remain so intense today. Jennifer Lopez represents a celebrity who achieved extraordinary mainstream success yet continues chasing a level of artistic respect that portions of the entertainment world still seem hesitant to fully grant her. Whether people believe she deserved an Oscar nomination or not, the Hustlers era permanently changed how many audiences viewed Jennifer Lopez as an actress. It forced critics and fans alike to reconsider whether they had underestimated her abilities because of assumptions tied to fame, glamour, and commercial celebrity culture. And maybe that is why the conversation still matters years later. It was never just about one film performance. It became a reflection of how Hollywood decides which celebrities are allowed to become serious artists and which ones remain permanently trapped inside the public image that made them famous in the first place. Thanks for watching, and before you leave, tell me honestly, do you think Jennifer Lopez was genuinely robbed during the Hustlers awards season? Or do you believe the internet transformed a strong performance into a larger cultural battle because of everything Lopez represents as a celebrity?